Hey-o, Heather. Guess what?
What?
We're back for another episode of the Hey BigHead Show. So good to have you here.
Okay,
I love seeing
hate
you.
your fake ass intros.
Why fake?
Every fucking hey-o, it's Andrew on the Hey BigHead Show.
That's how I talk on a normal basis.
No, it's not.
Every
It's like-
time you talk to me in the morning, I'm like, "Good morning, Heather. Hey, Heather. How are you?" I'm not like that.
No.
So Brian's mad at me. Have I told you about this?
No, why is he mad at you? Is that why he doesn't have a camera today?
That's why, because he doesn't want to see what his face looks like. So this morning we're shooting at 10 a.m. And I texted in the chat, "Hey guys, I'm gonna be late, and also I forgot this power strip that I was supposed to bring to the studio
to fix up all the cables that Heather was talking shit about last episode."
Oh, yeah, it's much cleaner.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Because we don't have the stuff yet.
because I forgot."
Oh, it looks cleaner.
Thank you.
I think it's just because I unplugged a bunch of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I say to Brian, not only did I forget the packages, I'm running late. So if you guys want to be here at 10:30, that's fine. And Brian goes, "So are you not bringing the power strips?" And I said, "Correct. Does that mess us up?" He says, "No, it's fine. I'll just bring the cameras." He's so snarky.
Oh, yeah, he's a Pisces.
What does that mean?
We're very, dismissive. If you don't do what you said you're going to do, dismiss.
So Brian, are you still mad at me still, or are we over this? Can we move forward with our
We can
friendship?
move forward, but this is multiple times now. It took you 2 weeks to get me the switcher
That's true.
that we needed. That was
You know what's
sitting
so
in your
funny,
house.
Brian? If we are late, then it's like, oh, I can't believe you did this. I can't believe it. But that, okay, for example, remember the call that we had last week that I wasn't on?
Yes,
He was really,
I was there. I remember.
he was really mad at me all day about that, and I was like, sorry, I got distracted.
Okay, well, first of all, let's make it clear. You were the one that Andrew's like, "Hey, 10 a.m." and you're like, "Make it 10:05." So you actually pushed
We
the
adjusted the
time.
calendar invite specifically for Heather because Heather
Well,
was
I was
getting her
talking to
lashes
Brittany.
done.
I was getting my lashes done. I'm sorry. I was busy. My bad. But okay, how come you get so mad at me for that?
Did I get
But
mad at you?
Yeah, you were like, I just really disappointing, Heather. But then you get mad at Brian, tries to get mad at you, and you're like, just kidding, guys, be there 10:30. Ha.
Because all of this is paid for by me. Because I get to call the shots. Because I'm the one throwing all this
Speaking
money.
of that, I think you owe me $30 for what we're going to talk about later.
Do I owe you $30?
Yeah.
What we're going to eat is $30?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, fun fact, we're going to eat a new restaurant here in Las Vegas that just opened up. And we're going to try that out on air, live, here at the Hey Big
Bojangles.
Bojangles.
Today's episode is sponsored by Bojangles.
Unofficially. Quick little recap. We had the three stride girls on last time. Where are they at? The poster's gone. And Johnny Hazard. We got some really great feedback. A lot of people loved the insight that Three Stride gave about starting a new podcast. And they loved Johnny Hazard with the loop that he
The
had.
looping.
The
It's really cool.
He is so talented.
I agree.
It's incredible. I keep meaning to go see one of his sets.
Good.
But
Have fun.
I haven't yet. You're not going to go?
I'll go with you.
That's fun.
I'm just being a dick to you.
Yeah. But we also have a major announcement. I have some little breaking news. So let's play that clip real quick. Hang on. Brian,
No.
where's my audio?
We're failing here at Hey BigHead.
Brian decided to mute my iPad that has all the sounds here, but that's all right.
That's his way of getting back at you.
Yeah. He's pulling the passive aggressive Pisces bullshit that he's doing. That's so fun.
I don't like not having control.
He needs control. Are you the type of person that when you're watching TV, you need the remote control, even if you're not going to change the channel?
Yes, but that's
Your
also,
dad is like that, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's also because I have a kid that I have to pause it for constantly because I'm like, eat your food or go do that. So
Fucking Pisces.
Can I tell you something? Just really quick. Do you like having kids or a kid?
What kind of a question is that?
Because I always like to hear parents are like, oh, I love my kid. But then I hear things like that. Do you know how fucking annoyed I'd be if I'd be have to pause what I'm watching and be like, eat your fucking food. I'd be annoyed all the time.
yeah, you just have to kind of prepare yourself for that.
You just have do you gain patience in life when you have a child?
100%. I just had a situation last week at work where I was afterwards because I had to deal with something that I was like, me having a kid helped me get through this because it gave
Really?
me patience. Yeah.
See, I don't know if I had the patience for that.
Brian wasn't a patient guy before Ben, his kid. Now he's a very patient man.
Is it because, like, I like kids, but I feel like maybe if I had my own kid, I'd be more patient. But like when it's someone else's kid and they're doing something kind of annoying, I'm like,
Oh yeah, I'm totally impatient with other people's kids.
you're like, "Ugh," but it's because it's half of yours. You're like, okay, I get it.
My kid could be having a complete meltdown, and some other kid could barely do something, and I'm like, that kid's an asshole.
But
Do you-
your kid is perfect.
Do you
My
talk?
kid's fine.
Do you talk shit about other kids?
Oh, yeah.
That play with.
I don't talk shit about the kids. Generally, it's all derived around the parents. Like where I'm just like, if that kid's doing something horrible, I'm blaming the parents for it.
Okay, that's a great segue into something that we're going to talk about, a show we went to. And it was very scary what happened on stage at the show. Andrew, you want to tell people what we did?
Do you want to just jump into that right
Yeah,
now?
let's talk about that.
All right. So last night, Heather got free tickets and backstage access to go see the show Piff the Magic Dragon, who is a magician and comedian. He's got a show here at the Flamingo. He was on America's
Got Talent.
Got
He
Talent.
lost.
He lost and brags about that.
He
says, like,
lost and still got a show in Vegas because
loser of America's Got Talent.
I think when you win America's Got Talent, like one of the prizes is you get a show in Vegas.
Right.
And a lot of those shows are not like the people who win are not still thriving in Vegas. But he is going on 10 years.
Now, prior to seeing him last night, I've seen ads for him here and there, and you know him. He dresses up in that dragon outfit.
And he has a dog.
He has a dog, a little Chihuahua. Never really thought much about the show prior to seeing it.
Correct.
Once we saw the show, it was hilarious.
He's good.
He's very good at. He's got the dry humor, very similar to our boy Brian.
Yeah, Brian would make a good Piff.
Brian would make a great Piff if Piff ever retires. He's got a very dry sense of humor, very sarcastic.
I like his accent. That makes it fun.
He's got a thick accent. There were even times that I didn't understand what he was saying, so I'm glad he didn't pick me out of the audience because I wouldn't
Oh,
have
I love
known.
that how much audience participation he does.
There's a lot of audience participation.
Yep, I like that. But there was one kid, speaking of kids, Brian, and you tell me what you think about this, that was brought up on stage, and I don't remember what the kid's original name was, but
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo. He renamed this kid Jimmy.
Yeah.
And Jimmy was like 11. And this kid like gets brought up on stage and he gets like, I don't want to give away too much, but Piff gives him like a spreading knife, like for butter. So it's not really sharp, but it's spreading. And because he's going to use that for a trick. And the kid proceeds to go like, why don't we have an AK-4? Oh, I have an AK-47. And the whole audience and me and my friends are all looking at each other like, why does this 11-year-old know what an AK-47 is? And then like when Piff turned his back, the kid ran up behind him and tried to pretend to stab him in the back.
This was not part of the show. Like this was.
Are we sure it wasn't part of the show?
I hope that he was a plant because the parents of that kid
Should be scared.
would be so ashamed. And again, this is me talking with no kids. I have no say. In
What
this.
would you do, Brian, if your kid went up on stage, since you're the one of the kid, and your kid is so perfect because he's yours? What would you do if your kid was talking about AK-47s and also trying to stab the performer on stage in the back when he wasn't looking?
Would you be embarrassed to?
Well, I don't. My son this morning said he was going to chop off my head with a lightsaber. So
That's because he loves Star Wars. He's a Star Wars kid.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's I hate to be that parent that's like, oh, it's video games, but I think things like that make weapons and guns more casual in their mind.
But he tried to stab the dragon on stage with a knife.
Also, I feel like 11, 12 is like 11 through 13, I think, is like the worst age of kids.
Oh, Miles is 13 right now, and I can confirm it is the worst fucking age.
It's because they're like going into junior high. They need to try to pretend to be cool. So,
Yeah, Piff handled
That
quote,
kid.
Jimmy wonderfully. Piff deserves an award. I don't think they have kids. I don't think they mentioned that.
No,
the
they
dogs are
they-
their kids.
Yeah, which also is really cute because their dogs named are numbered names.
So explain the dog
Okay.
situation for those of you that didn't hear about Piff and his dog back in November of last year.
So what happened was Piff, the dragon, adopted this dog named
Chihuahua.
Mr. Piffles from like a shelter in England. And this dog was like in rough shape. And he took care of it, he trained it, and he became a part of the show. Well, when the dog started getting old and not being able to perform in the show anymore, he's like, crap, well, I need a Chihuahua that looks just like this dog because every billboard plastered around town has this dog. Like, I cannot change the brand for another dog. So, like any normal human being, they cloned their dog. Have you ever heard of this, Brian?
No.
Okay, so for $60,000, this man cloned his Chihuahua. And what's crazy about that is, and the dog that we met last night was the clone, and his name is Fortune because he cost a fortune. He's also their fourth dog. They also adopted another Chihuahua that they got off of eBay. I don't know how you adopt dogs off eBay. That was a Chihuahua, but he didn't really look like Mr. Pickles, but they adopted this blonde Chihuahua too. And then they adopted another Chihuahua, but he got really fat and didn't fit in the costumes, so he wasn't allowed to be on stage either. So they're like, this isn't working. We can't keep adopting these dogs. We just need to clone Mr. Piffles. So they cloned Mr. Piffle. That dog's name is Fortune. And then they said, hey, we should probably do this one more time, just in case something happens to Fortune. And when they did it the second time, they got a 2-for-1 special and got 2 Mr. Piffles out of it.
Twofer.
Because the dog gene split, like kind of like IVF, the egg split, and they got identical twin Chihuahua dogs. So now there are 3 Mr. Fake Piffles running around the earth that look like the original Mr. Piffles. And what's even crazier is the urn they made for Mr. Piffles is like this metal silhouette of what the dog looks like in his costume.
I don't think you said it, but back in November, Mr. Piffles passed away.
Oh, Mr. Piffles passed away.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the dogs' names are the ones that are cloned. I'm pulling it up, even though Andrew hates when I do this.
I absolutely hate it because of the momentum. You had such strong momentum with that story.
Sorry.
Okay.
So number 4 dog, his name is Fortune, but it's if you look at it, it says the number 4 because it's their 4th dog. Number 5 is Fivel because 5. And number 6 is Six Pack. So all the dogs now are numbered, but have a numbered name.
What about 2 and 3?
Wasn't it 2? Oh, I don't remember what 2 and 3 were named.
I think it was 2. Was it 2?
Chewy.
Chewy. And then the third one was, it would have been great for C-3PO, but they didn't do that.
No, I don't remember what the 3 one was. It was the fat Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a crazy whole story, and they told me it was like a surrogate dog. The surrogate dog doesn't even have to be a Chihuahua. It could be any kind of small dog, which I thought was also wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just Dachshund just poops out 2 Chihuahuas. Like, that's random. But I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And it's a great show.
It's a really fun show. And his, I think his fiance is his assistant.
Yes, the girl on the show who did the splits.
She was phenomenal. I love her energy.
Yeah.
I want you to.
When the show is bigger, we should have them on because right now,
you...
obviously, our show is not that big.
Hold on. Hold on. Oh, yeah. By the way, randomly this week, Heather goes, oh, yeah, when their show catches up a little bit more steam, we should do this. And I stopped whatever I was doing. And I said,
pissed,
excuse
Brian.
me? Excuse me?
He's like, we're getting steam.
Which brings us
to breaking news.
Breaking news, Heather Marie. You may know this. I don't know if you do or not, but I founded a website called vegaslocal.com.
Yeah, I know about this.
It's a local directory for Vegas locals
Okay.
of Las Vegas.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So, as you know, I'm on the board of Vegas Local.
You also made it.
I also made it.
You're also the manager,
I'm also the
the
manager.
CEO, the content creator.
Other people on the board are Mayor Oscar Goodman, Carrot Top, one of the tigers,
Raised in Vegas.
one of the tigers from Siegfried and Roy. Raised in
Brian.
Vegas. Brian's on the
Bojangles.
Bojangles.
We're all on the board.
We've all unanimously approved that the Hey BigHead Show is now the official podcast of Las Vegas.
Okay. How much? That's the sound that, remember my magic mixie I had?
Yes, I do.
That's the sound that it makes when it pops open.
Shout out to Magic.
Play
Mix.
it again?
You want it?
Yeah, except it goes, "Wah!" and then it opens.
It comes full circle. We actually tried to do an episode of
With
just
Magic
you
Mix.
doing the Magic Mix.
Yeah, and then I wasted the one I got from
it failed.
MacBid with someone else. And
It failed horribly.
yeah.
But that's all right. But no, the official podcast of Las Vegas
I don't agree with that.
is now the Hey BigHead Show.
I don't agree with that.
Why don't you agree with
Because Jonathan Jossel at the Plaza Hotel has a really dope Vegas podcast. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of crown that as the Vegas
that? Jonathan Jossel, coming for you. We're coming for you, Jonathan
His
Jossel.
podcast is pretty cool.
What's so good about Jonathan Jossel?
He just interviews like really cool people in Las Vegas.
We don't interview cool people. The power
We do,
slap
but
champion,
he's
Lauren
interviewing
Wise.
actual Oscar Goodman. We're just
We're just talking about Oscar Goodman.
shout out to Jonathan Jossel. You know what's so funny about Jonathan Jossel? This guy's name is like mysterious. I've heard so many people be like, yeah, Jonathan Jossel. I'm like, who the fuck is this Jonathan Jossel guy? And then I was at the plaza the other night with all the influencers for Christmas, and I need to post that video still. And this guy walks by, and I noticed, you know my friend Battleborn Pins?
Yes, I do.
I noticed he was wearing one of her pins. I go, hey, my friend makes those pins. He goes, oh, I love her pins. They're so great. I actually made her make a plaza one. Like, we sell them or something like I don't remember exactly what happened. So we sat there for like 10 minutes talking about these pins. And he's like, I'll get you one. And I was like, cool, because I don't have one. And I used to intern at the plaza when I was younger. Later on, I find out that it's like the CEO. And this is the Jonathan Jossel guy I've heard so much about. And I was like, oh, my bad.
That was Jonathan Johnson?
Yeah, and I was just like stopping him because I was like, hey, I like your pins. And then I felt really bad because he actually came the next day to bring me one of the Plaza pins, but I had to go to do a video shoot and I left early, so I felt really bad.
That's like an M. Night Shyamalan twist where you realize the person you're talking to is this big deal, but he's down to earth.
He was
He's
so
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
I loved him. He was so great.
I love that for you.
Yeah. Shout out to Jonathan Jossel in the Plaza. He's the youngest CEO ever to be in Las Vegas or something, or
Really?
yeah, or the youngest CEO right now. I forgot what the title is, but
How old is he?
I want to say he's like 30 something.
Good for him.
Yeah. He's also got an accent. I don't know where he's from though.
You love
But he's
those
dope.
episodes.
He's dope. Shout out to him for trying to make Vegas downtown like a cool thing. Like he's doing cool things at the Plaza.
There's a lot of cool things coming up in Las Vegas.
we're growing.
Downtown.
We're
we
growing.
really are, especially downtown, but we really are growing. We have Bojangles here in town. That's a big deal.
The day that we got IKEA was the day that I realized that we were becoming a big city.
IKEA is what did it
Yeah,
for me?
because IKEA will not come into a city that doesn't have a certain amount of capacity.
Really?
Or is it capacity? No, it's not capacity. What's that word?
Population?
Population.
There you go. You were so close.
That's so close.
You were so close.
Population.
Sure.
So the moment that they came in, I was like, holy fuck, we are a city.
Have you gotten a hot dog from IKEA recently?
No, are they good?
Yeah, they're phenomenal. They're like 50
No,
cents.
you got to get those stupid
Swedish meatballs.
Yeah, remember that time you're like, hey, I'll buy you breakfast. And then I came up there and you gave me your leftovers.
Fun fact. Did that yesterday.
See, it's a common thing.
What, the hot dog or the
Sweet. Well, I didn't. My wife did. We were at IKEA yesterday, and I go for the ice cream cone.
You know, I was going to ask Ben something. Brian.
Are you going to talk to Brian's kid on the podcast?
Yeah.
His
Can we interview
4-year-old
Ben?
kid?
Like, how do you like your dad? No, I was going to ask you. You should bring one of those Star Wars heads in here.
And Andrew and I talked about that, possibly bringing some stuff in here.
Brian has, as we spoke about before,
Well, let's give Brian a little shout out because Brian doesn't get enough love.
Brian
We'll make
doesn't
this a
get enough
clip.
love.
Brian actually has a video dropping right now.
Oh, okay. Brian's
right
actually
this
working
second.
on
Brian's
something
editing.
else.
Brian is editing as he's our engineer on the show here.
Yeah,
It
so
was
we're
scheduled.
paying you to work.
It was scheduled. Scheduled it
sure.
last night at midnight.
Sure.
Brian, where can people see your videos, first of all?
So I have a YouTube channel called Jawa Junction,
Jawa Junction.
and I have quite a few videos up now of a lot of Star Wars builds.
From 3D printing.
3D printing, yep.
Yeah. Can you bring one in next week?
Yeah.
Brian's full garage is just Star
I know, I've
Wars
been to it.
3D models packed from wall to wall.
I want Miles to come over and see your garage one day because I just think it's so cool.
Mhm.
And Miles will be blown away. I think it'll inspire Miles to want to do bigger 3D projects because right
Miles,
now
your
he's
little brother.
yeah, he's making like little figurines right now and like he's getting very creative, but at the same time, I just feel like you would blow his mind.
You know how I feel? You know what? There are small things that kind of give me an idea that the Hey BigHead Show is growing. And one of the most recent things was Brian's wife, Joyce, who knows that he comes here every Sunday, is on this podcast. She finally started following the Hey BigHead Show on Instagram.
Oh, look at that.
So it's finally to a point now where she's like, okay, he's gone every Sunday. Maybe I'll check it out and see what he's up to. And we're on episode, I don't know,
4, 5.
6, something
Oh.
like that. It just goes by so fast. But we're slowly getting people to be like, okay, I see a few clips. I like to see a little
4.
bit more. Yeah, 4. Wow.
How rude.
How
How
rude.
dare you? I tried to get Andrew to bring Chester today, and he did not want to bring Chester. So hopefully next week, Chester will come.
Chester is my cat, and there is zero chance that I'm bringing my cat to this office because he will scratch the couch. He will cry.
Well, that's a perfect segue.
Into what?
Talking about AI, because AI is going to be so good soon that we'll pretty soon be able to know what Chester is saying to us.
I don't understand what you mean.
So AI technology is growing so quickly that AI will soon be able to predict based off their meows what they are trying to say.
Yeah. But AI is definitely taking over our lives.
It is.
I am for it. I'm
No, I'm
a
not.
little hesitant towards how it can get out of control, but right now I'm embracing it. I'm all in. For me, it's helped me organize my day-to-day life, my goals. It even helps me write some notes on, I'll kind of spew some notes to it and say, hey, help me kind of organize whatever this gibberish is that I'm writing and turn it into a talking point on the episode, or turn it into a blog post, or give me ideas for a blog post. And it at least sparks it.
So I try to do that for Raised in Vegas. I try to be like, hey, give me ideas for born and raised Vegas locals content.
Sure.
And the ideas it gave me were garbage.
You have to fine tune it a little bit, because out of the box, no, it's going to be garbage. You're right. But if you work at saying, this is the tone of voice that I usually have, or this is the kind of topics that I want to touch on.
You know what's funny?
It's like a child that you need to nurture to kind of turn into your own.
Okay.
Well, you can have it give you like direct things. Like, funny enough, the video that I posted today on Jawa Junction YouTube channel.
Shout out to Jawa Junction.
Wow. That he's editing right
A
now.
lot of the electronic stuff that I have to do requires programming that then goes into an Arduino board, and it takes forever to figure out programming. I just went into ChatGPT, typed in, write this code for me. If this is what I wanted to do, it spit it out in seconds.
That's crazy. Because I took a screenshot of my Raised in Vegas Instagram and I put it into an AI chat and I said, please judge me harshly on what Raised in Vegas is. And it was brutal.
What did it say?
That I'm a stuck-up Vegas influencer that tries to show you my food, which is unappetizing.
No
I'm not even going to
Yeah,
comment on
let's
that.
just
Let's move along.
let's just move along, AI.
And then I asked it to be meaner and it just got worse. So, cool.
Did you get upset at it?
No, but I thought it was fucking hilarious. I was like, damn, AI.
Did it ruin your day?
No.
So if somebody says that to you personally, you get upset. But if AI says it to you,
Yeah, because it's a fucking computer.
But did you take feedback from it, or were you just like, this is all bullshit now?
No, this is all bullshit because it's judging me. You like how I just got way comfier?
get in front of that microphone. I don't want to miss a word of this, by the way.
Why? I know where you're getting with this.
You have no idea what I'm getting with.
Yeah, I do. I feel like if a person said that to me, I'd probably be like, ouch, wow. But AI doing it, and I don't give a fuck. But I will say I've seen some mean comments about myself recently. And people say I'm a sellout, which I don't understand I'm a sellout because I only made, I want to say it was like right under 10K last year for Raised in Vegas. And every time I ask like big influencers, I was like, how much do you think Raised in Vegas made last year? They'd be like, oh, hundreds of thousands of dollars, like at least 3 figures. I'm like, nope.
3 figures?
Is that 3 figures?
6
That's
figures.
6 figures.
Three
Sorry.
figures. You made.
I would hope you made more than
$100.
3 figures.
6 figures.
I would hope you made more than 3 figures.
I'm a bad businesswoman, and also like I just want to help out the small businesses. It wasn't really a money project for me. It was more along the lines of a fun project, and I kind of cried on Instagram today about it. I feel like Raised in Vegas has become a job now. When I started it a year ago, I was having fun, and now it's work.
People love Raised in Vegas because of how real you are, and we've talked about this before. How real you are, how open you are, how transparent you are, and also you're openly giving promotion to these small businesses that don't have money or don't offer to pay anything. You just do it because it's great content.
So a lot of them will DM me, and I will save them in my phone. I'll follow them back. I will not respond, and I will not take their free shit. I will go in there on my own dime because I feel like if they give me free shit and I don't like it, then I have to be the bad guy. And I learned my lesson with that with Radio Heather. I don't want to be the bad guy. Also, I'd rather just pay the $20 and buy something. It happened to me at Magusta's Tacos the other day. They invited me like 2 weeks ago, and I said no. Or I didn't say anything. I just ignored them. And then I went there on my own, and I bought what I want, and I did what I want. And I'm going to do a video on them. And I know pure fact that I paid for that video. And
how'd you like it?
Oh, I thought their hangover tots were the greatest thing in the world.
And again, that's why people enjoyed your content, because you were shouting out these creative small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking to make Raised in Vegas a solid source of income, which it absolutely can be, you got to stop doing as much as you have been. I feel like you're doing a lot of work for little to no money.
Yeah.
Which again,
That's why it's becoming work.
great for the community, but also it's burning you out between your full-time job, between any other side hustles you have going on.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to start making probably some other kind of content.
That's why you
to
need
make
AI.
money.
That's why you need AI in your life to help. You need AI Heather to really help organize your to-do list, organize your schedule. Don't yawn at me. You need AI to help you be.
All right, we'll teach me
sidekick.
AI later.
I got you.
Thank you.
Also, stop hiring your friends.
Okay. I'll never. Let me tell you something. I'll put this on camera. I hope someone fucking watch this. I will never work closely in a friend relationship ever again. You are probably the only friend that I work with.
I'm honored.
I don't get paid from you though. So I guess I technically don't work from you. But I work with you on projects.
Sure.
Like you help me with my website and stuff. But I will never, ever, 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 ever work with a friend ever again.
We've been fortunate where we've been able to get past the numerous arguments that you and I have had.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough working with friends and family.
Yeah.
Because it's something that you're working so hard towards.
Yep.
You guys have difference of opinions.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to start working with Brittany soon and help her. I work with Boston from here to here.
These are friends.
But these
they're
aren't like
also
full-time
clients.
jobs. It's like come in, make a couple things, and then like call it a day.
Sure.
So like it's much easier and less of a pain in the butt. And I trust those people, and I've been friends long enough that I can be like, hey, this isn't working or something like that. Like,
Right, but these are friends of yours.
working with friends is a very good topic, by the way, because I feel like,
Do you want to talk about that?
yeah, because working with friends like can really destroy friendships very quickly. But I feel like if you have a really strong foundation of a friendship, like you and I, Boston and I, Brittany and I feel like I can strongly go to them and say something and say, hey, like this is offending me, or hey, this isn't working out or whatever. And no one would hate each other in the end.
Right.
But when you work with friends that are like afraid of you, or they're like timid by you or whatever, it can ruin friendships. And that recently happened for me.
But on the flip side, though, the difference between those two scenarios that you're talking about is Boston and Brittany. These are business owners who you're helping their business
Yeah.
with marketing, as opposed to you as the business owner
Trying to hire someone.
hiring somebody to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it can get messy. And it's,
Yeah, I'll never do that again.
yeah, and that's tough. I've done that numerous times in the past, and fortunately,
You hired Brian. He's still here.
Brian. Brian is. It's because Brian owes me for his success.
Oh, yeah.
Of where
Can
he
I
is
tell you
in
something?
life.
Brian, all the time, Andrew sits here and goes, Brian owes me.
He does.
Brian owes me.
Also, I don't know if Andrew knows anyone else that owns this much video and lighting equipment. So there's also that.
Minor details. Brian, explain to the world. We've talked about this before, but explain to people why I feel that you owe me in your success in life.
Because he hired him to work at frickin' the bowling alley in California.
Upscale
Whoa.
bowling lounge, Lucky Strike.
Andrew was the manager.
I had moved out of my hometown and moved to Orange County. I started a job as doing cold calling for a mortgage company, making $1,000 a month.
Oof.
Yeah, $1,000 a month. Got let go within the first month because it was really a pointless job, and I had no idea what I was doing.
So you went and worked for Andrew.
So I went to, Lucky Strike. My sister actually was working there at the time. So she was like, hey, come
Oh, wait.
interview.
Hold up. Breaking news. Andrew did not get Brian the job. Brian's sister did.
For the record, his sister, love her. She was great. Was she a host?
Yeah,
Hostess?
host.
Andrew's about to say he was about to fire her.
No, I was not going to. She was very sweet, very nice. But yeah, she referred Brian, but without me asking the right questions, getting to know Brian during that first initial interview.
Shut the fuck up.
It was me that allowed him to
No,
go
you
to-
didn't take a chance on a random kid.
I took
His
a chance on a kid.
His sister worked there, and you trusted her opinion because you probably were lazy and said, let me hire your brother.
I was lazy.
Yeah, I don't fucking believe this.
Well.
Brian, you did your own successful things. You're more successful than Andrew now, so fuck him.
Brian, I'm very happy with where Brian is in life. It's like watching a child who's only 2 months.
You know,
younger
Brian,
than,
I've kind of hated on you for a while, and I realize now that the foe in this relationship was Andrew.
It's like watching a child that's less than a
Brian
month
is
younger
way
than
cooler
you.
than you. You lose.
It's like watching a child that's less than a month younger than you grow and blossom into this strong.
Fuck off, Andrew. You didn't do anything for Brian.
Anyways.
Goodbye. I'm kicking Andrew off the show. This is now the Me and Brian show.
This is now the Hey Heather show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually my website.
Yeah, it is. HeyHeather.com. What's up?
You're going to come in tomorrow and I'm going to have the word Heather written underneath that billboard.
All the pictures of me are replaced with
With
pictures
me.
of Heather. The Grand Theft Auto photo of me is now Heather.
It's called the Hey Heather show.
Just gets a dry erase marker and writes it right behind you on the plexiglass.
I try to come in. The
I mean,
locks.
I already have the website.
The locks are changed.
Like I took over. I'm more successful than me and Brian are more successful than you anyway.
If Andrew did not move me on, I wouldn't have gotten the job.
No, but your sister got you the job.
She got me the interview.
She got the interview. The foot in the
Yeah,
door.
but do you think Andrew would have picked your application out of a list of others if it wasn't for your sister? Probably not.
Oh.
He probably would have hired some hot girl.
I mean, we did hire a lot of hot girls.
Yeah, your ex-fiance was one of them.
Actually, I wasn't there when she was hired.
Oh, wait, you came in after?
No, I was at a different restaurant, and she no-called, no-showed that restaurant. Went to New York for a brief moment, came back, got hired at Lucky Strike,
And then you went over there?
and then I went back to Lucky Strike, but at a different location.
Yeah,
I
you never worked.
I never
together at the same
worked with
location.
her.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, sorry to disappoint you. I mean, I worked-
Andrew's like, HR's calling me like 20 years ago.
Andrew, you're fired.
You're fired for sleeping with your ex-fiance. You hired.
Working in a restaurant, especially in Southern California, when you're in your early 20s, is a shit show. It's like one big incestuous family.
You all fuck.
Everybody's hooking up with everybody.
Brian?
Brian's wife is now following this Instagram account, so no, Brian's not going to say anything. Smart move for being
But
quiet.
is there a picture of Brian still in that restaurant?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was on the cover.
well,
There's
it
not a
probably
picture of
is-
Andrew.
It probably isn't anymore now that
And
they
we
got
were just
bought.
there like 2 years ago, and it was.
Yeah, but they got bought out now. It's no longer owned by the same people.
But Brian, you had a picture in there, and Andrew did not,
I did have a picture in there.
Yes.
because Brian overpassed you and became the successful man he is today. And
Overpassed or surpassed?
surpassed.
There you go.
And now you just own this. Good for you.
That Brian works for.
Full circle. Is the circle of life.
Should we bring back your ex-fiance too?
That's right.
You all three can work together again.
I should call her.
I don't think so.
I
She's
don't-
married.
I don't think so. I'm good. All right. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to try out this new restaurant called what again?
Bojangles.
Bojangles. We'll be right back. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I have a full plate of food.
Yeah, this is my contribution to the show today. I bought you all lunch.
This is from
Bojangles.
Bojangles.
Okay, so Brian, what did you say about Bojangles? You said the line has been going around the building?
Yeah, it opened
Last week.
I think Martin Luther King Day, Monday.
Okay.
And the line has been ridiculous ever since then.
So I have gotten lucky. I've been to Bojangles twice now.
What is Bojangles?
Bojangles, where is it from?
I don't know.
I don't remember where it's from.
Bojangles?
But my boss was very excited that Bojangles was here. So I was like, okay, well.
I'm your boss.
Okay, my other boss. And so I was like, okay, what's the hype? He's like, it's like a Popeyes, but better. So I was like, okay, I like Popeyes. Let's go try Bojangles. So when I went to Bojangles yesterday,
Heather.
2 days in a row, Bojangles, I actually got in and out within like 12 minutes.
Do you have one of those frequent customer cards where you stamped and you
No.
already get a free chicken tendy?
No, I did get to try their Bojangles shake though today, and it is fantastic.
Shout out to
Bo Berry.
Bojangies.
Yes.
Giving us all this
So they didn't give us anything. We paid for this. Actually, you paid for this. I'll Venmo request it later. Bojangles. So my boss told me to get the dirty rice and
Dirty rice.
and the blueberry biscuit, which you both have on your plate. You both have a fork. Let's start with the dirty rice because it's one item that I have not tried yet.
All right, so we're eating dirty rice. Do you know what's in dirty rice?
No fucking clue.
You just.
It's just dirty rice.
All right.
Let's try it. Oh, you know what this tastes like? My grandfather used to make gumbos or jambalaya.
Shouldn't have paused.
What?
That was an awkward pause. You know what this tastes like? My grandfather.
My grandfather used to make like rice like this. He's from New Orleans, and he made like really like good rice like this.
All right. Yeah, that's that. I would call that dirty rice. It's good.
Yeah, it's really good. Okay, so on each of your
We
plates.
apologize to everybody listening to our chewing noises.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Chew straight into the microphone.
Okay, so I put on there a little dab of this like pink honey.
Okay.
This is probably the most unique sauce I've ever found at a fast food restaurant. This is peach honey pepper.
Okay.
So dip
do
your
you dip
chicken
your-
nugget in it.
Chicken tendy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Brian's not a fan.
You don't like it?
It's yeah, I don't know.
Good crunch.
I mean, out of all the chicken fingers, out of all the restaurants,
No, chicken's great. The sauce is weird. I don't know about the
Yeah.
sweet peach.
listen to the crunch.
Really getting a deep dive into Heather's mouth.
You're gonna get a whole new viewing base just based off of this. People that love the eating shows.
Should we charge a monthly subscription to just listen to Heather eat? That's some ASMR right there. That's what that is. Yeah, it's good. It's good chicken tenders.
Okay. I'm not a fan of their fries.
What's wrong with their fries?
Try their fries.
Do I dip it in that honey thing?
No, just eat the fries.
There's regular fries.
The regular fries.
Grocery store fries.
Okay. Now, obviously, we've been eating a lot of food. You want to try? Oh, Brian's already taken a drink.
Sorry, I had to wash the peach, whatever that is. out.
Okay.
Brian's starting early. He's drinking vodka.
I will say this, Bojangles, congratulations. You are officially the winner of the best Arnold Palmer I've ever had at a fast food restaurant.
You love your Arnie Palmer.
I think this is the best Arnold Palmer I've ever had.
I think it's because it's done with sweet tea. Usually it doesn't have sweet tea, and I feel like this has sweet tea.
There's something about it. I don't know if it's their lemonade.
Bojangles coming in hot with
I don't know.
Arnold Palmer.
Okay, now this is the most unique item on their menu that I think like they're famous for. And I split your guys's because it's so good. And
You have the full one?
this is their Bowberry, I think, biscuit or blueberry biscuit or something.
Bowberry biscuits. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah.
It tastes like Sunday morning breakfast. I love it.
That's a very good pastry.
It's soft. It's got good flavor. Not too sweet. So, after trying your Bojangles, let's rate it. At a fast food restaurant in Las Vegas, where do you put Bojangles on
Are
the
we
chicken?
comparing it against all fast food or
No, all the chicken places. Sorry. So like Raising Cane's, Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, KFC. Where are you ranking this?
Brian, I'll let you start. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put this just because I am a big Chick-fil-A fan. I'm gonna put this as a 2. Better
Okay.
than all the other plain chicken places, but yeah, like, the tender's really good. Popeyes, hit or miss on the chewiness or not, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A, the one great thing about Chick-fil-A is two things. They're great and it's consistent. It's consistent every time you go.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time I've had Bojangles, it's delicious. And if it stays consistent, I could definitely see it taking that number 1 spot. But for me, it's still second, but it's really good. I want to make sure it's consistent over the course of 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, whatever.
Here's my take on it. I'm going to give it number 1. But I also feel like I'm giving it number 1 because it's so new. Yeah. And I'm tired of eating the other ones.
You're tired of Chick-fil-A,
But
tired of Popeye.
I will say that is my favorite Arnold Palmer I've ever had, and that blueberry biscuit, it's good.
I'm not much of a sweets guy, but that pastry is really delicious.
Yeah, I really like their biscuit, and I think their chicken is honestly. This is the second day in a row I've had it, and their chicken is consistent. The French fries were better today than they were yesterday, but they're still not good in my opinion.
Would you wait in line for these 30-minute lines that they have?
Okay,
at
so
Bojangles?
when I went today, I got in line at 9:40. I was out. No, I'm sorry. I got in line at 10:10. That was yesterday.
Which I feel is understandable because no one really eats chicken
at that early. Yeah, they open at 5 a.m.
No
and
one
they have
would
their menu
ever.
all day.
No one would ever eat fried chicken on a Sunday at 10:30 in the morning, other than us.
Unless it's with waffles.
Unless it's with waffles.
Yes,
and
or a
it's on the
blueberry
Hey-
biscuit.
or it's on the Hey BigHead Show.
So right now they're serving their whole menu because obviously people want to try it and they're going earlier and earlier. I was probably in and out of that line within 15 minutes, and I think I got in that line at 10:10.
Okay. How's the customer service? Do they say,
Great.
Do they say my pleasure?
No, they do not.
Wow.
But the customer service was great. They were passing out samples of their blueberry shake, or their bowberry shake, which is fantastic.
They're really good. They're really going all in on the.
Yeah. Well, we do it all the time. We go,
blueberry.
Brian.
Brian likes his Bojangles.
Bojangles, Brian. His blueberry biscuits. It's like Brian's like the manager.
Brian doesn't want a camera on him on this episode because he's stuffing his face right now with all
No,
the Bojangles.
he's rolling his eyes. I have a perfect shot of him. He's rolling his eyes at us for calling him Brian. Brian doesn't realize that every time that me and Andrew are talking, like solo, like when Brian's not a part of the conversation, we both go, Brian.
We do. Brian is the source of many inside jokes between you
Andrew
and
will be
I.
like, oh yeah, I got to call Brian. I'm like, Brian.
Little does he know
Why
how
do we
much impact he has on our day-to-day communication.
Brian. Bojangles. I think it's just the word B we like.
We do. We do like the brr. Well, that was great. Thank you, Heather, for bringing that in.
You owe me $30.
Jesus Christ. Brian, take care of that for me, will you? Thanks, bro. New episodes every Tuesday. We'll be back next week on the Hey BigHead Show.
See ya.
See you.
Bojangles.
Bojangles, Brian.